All right, in front of me, I've got everything you need to do a IX12, Spektrum IX12 to TBS Tracer Micro TX module mod. So this is not a stock supported thing like the regular TBS Crossfire full module and the IX12 with this adapter cable you can buy for a few dollars. It's something that I worked up to try to use this with the Spektrum IX12 since it's not currently supported. Things you'll need: the module, another one of those Crossfire adapter cables, and then some way to mount the JR module bay to the back of your IX12. This is something that I designed up and then 3D printed to hold it. I'm sure other things will come out soon, especially if there's a Nano TX module that'll fit nicely on the back of the IX12, but for now, this is what I've done. A minor caveat, there's a couple of them in doing this. The first one is this will have to mount sideways because there are two reasons. One, this won't clear, the SMA won't clear this handle on the back of the radio, and the second reason is I don't want to do it because both this handle and this vertical antenna here are both active elements on the Spektrum RF section, but they'll be just passive, basically metal, sitting there when you're using your TBS tracer module. But I'm worried about weird Yagi effects or other strange things happening when you have a bunch of 2.4 gigahertz elements there with only one being active. And so I've decided to mount mine horizontally for the moment being. It also runs this cable down nicely, so this snaps into there, and then your cables will run out like that. This mounts on the back just like that. It'll screw into these 40 by 30 millimeter holes that are on the back of the IX12. If you'd like that STL file, feel free to send me an email or PM or DM, and I'll be happy to send that to you. It's not a beautiful solution at this point, but it's been working for me, so until there's something better, that's what I'm going to stick with. So the only other thing you need to know is that you'll only get about 150 hertz update rate instead of the advertised 250 hertz update rate of Tracer. I still see tons of benefits: the wider bandwidth of the 2.4 gigahertz system, meaning less fail-safes, the smaller antennas, the diversity of receivers for the same price as traditional Crossfire receivers. Tons of reasons to go with the TBS Tracer system, especially if you're a racer or urban freestyler. So that's why I've decided to stick with this system, even though technically I don't get a huge update rate advantage like this system advertises with Crossfire Shot. So what you're going to need to do is take your Crossfire to IX12 adapter cable. Normally it would have these white plugs on it from the Crossfire, and then you'd plug it in on the bottom like that. And so what you're going to do with this one is keep the IX12 connector on it and cut all four of the wires so that there's no Crossfire connectors on it and you just have bare wires. Then in order from bottom to top, you have your blue wire, which you can think of as signal. That goes to the ANT port on the JR module bay. You can look up that diagram if you'd like, or you can just follow this, and this will set you right away. No worries at all. I worked this out. It took a little bit of time to diagnose which signal pin I needed to go in on this tracer module. It's not PPM like you might think, so that's why I'm making this video. So that goes in the ANT port. Then you've got black or ground. You'll need one of those. The other wire you can just cut and put heat shrink around. They are electrically the same, so it doesn't matter which one you use. And then this third one is your red or VBAT line, which is 9 point something volts coming out of the IX12, which fits really nicely into the 3 to 13 volt range that the Tracer accepts. So from there, what you're going to want to do is screw this onto the back of your radio, run these through. These are just 10th inch, regular 10th inch pin headers. A lot of the older flight controllers use them, the IX32s. So if you don't have any of those, they're super easy to source. Otherwise, a lot of you will have some of them in your old boxes of stuff from the earlier days of FPV. So just grab some of those. I recommend the right angle ones just for ease of routing the wires. Route them in here, and then this piece of neoprene will hold it nicely, so you can route it in here, and then grab your module, plug that in, and then snap it into the bay while it's mounted on there, and then run this around and plug it right into that connector on the bottom of the IX12. Then you're just going to set up your IX12 like you would for Crossfire. If you already have a Crossfire model, you won't need to change anything. Mine was just plug and play. I plugged it in and it was perfectly ready to go. The only other thing you'll have to watch out for is you can't use Lua scripts to change settings on your tracer module. So you'll either have to just press the button to bind or hook it up via the USB-C port to a laptop to use Agent, or a lot of the new things coming with the mobile app and lots of TBS cloud integration, I think will make that a lot easier. So that's why I'm not super worried about it in the long term, but it is a little bit of extra overhead in the short term. I haven't had huge issues. I just have to plug it in to change my power output, which I really don't change very often. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out either via PM or DM. I'd be happy to help you if you have any questions. I think it's a pretty simple setup, but anyways, if you have any questions, like I said, let me know, and thanks for watching.